that Tom Selleck was rejected twice on the dating game? Since then, he's done pretty well. Tonight on PM Magazine, America's Heartthrob talks to Marilyn Beck about some things that are troubling him and why he won't turn his back on Magnum PI.
Then PM star Loretta Swit takes you on a tour of a very special zoo.
I think they think I'm their mother.
Visit an orphanage for animals whose mothers left them behind.
And it's all aboard the MS Starward as we kick off our sun and snow escape with a cruise in the Caribbean. You'll sail the high seas with us and learn that there's plenty to do in the sun and the shade.
You're overlooking the vast Atlantic Ocean where the MS Starward cruise ship is bound for its many ports of call, including Great Stirrup Key, the Cayman Islands, Mexico, and Jamaica. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this very special week on PM Magazine. I'm Dave Nemeth.
And I'm Pamela Nemeth, and all week long we're going to be taking you to those ports of call that Dave just mentioned. And if you listen very carefully, we're going to tell you how you could win this very same cruise on the MS Starward. It's all part of PM Magazine's Sun or Snow Escape. You know, it's really starting to get quite hot on this ship.
I'll tell you what, I wonder just how warm it is. We'll have to check the temperature a little bit later on, and you're going to want to write that down. But first up tonight, folks, we're going to meet a man who spends a lot of his working hours working in balmy temperatures like these, but not in the Caribbean, in Hawaii.
We're talking about Tom Selleck, Mr. Macho himself, who many people consider to be the sexiest man in America. But he doesn't let his good looks or his success get in his way, as PM Magazine's Marilyn Beck recently found out.
Wait a minute, Tom Selleck's the sexiest man in America?
Well, you're a close second.
He was bachelor number 2 on the dating game twice, and both times Tom Selleck was rejected. My, how times have changed. As the hero on Magnum PI, Tom has been America's heartthrob for the last 5 years.
Well, I know that it took you a long time until your big break came.
Yeah.
And you've said that there were times when you did plenty of falling on your face.
Oh, yeah, I think.
Like what?
Have you seen all the work? No, I've got some work out there that I would wince if it came out. And I don't know how bad it is. I might hate it more than other people, or they may think it's terrible. I don't know. It just, you know, hopefully you keep growing as an actor. The fascinating thing about acting is you never stand still, hopefully. You never say, well, that's it. This is where I am. You keep learning, and you keep hopefully getting better. And so it's very frustrating. But yeah, there's a lot of work I did that...
Not too.
And to really learn as an actor, you've got to extend yourself far enough to stick your neck out enough to fail. And sometimes you don't, if you stick your neck out that much, you're not going to always succeed. You're going to fail some of the time. And you learn a lot from that, but it's in front of millions of people.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
In spite of the demands of Magnum, in the last 4 years, Tom's managed to squeeze in 4 television movies and 3 feature films, including High Road to China, Lassiter, and most recently, Runaway. Still, Tom remains loyal to the show that made him a star.
Your fame has become so far-reaching. Why don't you do what a lot of other actors have done and leave your series?
I have a contract.
But that hasn't meant anything to a lot of others.
I just think, look, when Magnum sold, I mean, in retrospect and at the time and everything else, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, work-wise. And to turn my back on that, Universal has deficit financed every episode of Magnum we've ever done. They get so much money from CBS, it's never enough to make the show at the quality level we want to make it. So they put out extra money for that show. And the only way they get that money back, they don't get it in the first 2 runs of the series, they get it back later in syndication. The other actors in the show are certainly as typed as I am. And this show is going to be very important to them because they'll have as much trouble as I'll have ever losing the Magnum. I mean, so I think I owe it to my fellow actors, I owe it to myself, and it's not such a bad plight. You know, it's a wonderful show to do. It's real challenging. It's very hard work, but I'm very proud of that show. So I don't want to leave it for a lot of reasons. The bottom line being, if you sign your name to something, you do what you say you're going to do. It's that simple.
So far, Tom has done over 100 episodes of Magnum, most of which have been in the top 10. This season, however, the series is getting some heavy competition from The Bill Cosby Show. And Tom isn't too happy about the pot shots Cosby has been taking at Magnum.
The only thing I object to at all about the Cosby Show was a certain, what seemed like a certain orchestrated characterization of our show as a show of car chases and girls in bikinis and shootings, because obviously when Bill said that, he's never seen our show. And I didn't appreciate when he said that, but other than that, I'm a huge fan of his, and I'm glad his show is succeeding, because he's a wonderful actor.
Tommy, you have the reputation, justifiably, as one of the few great gentlemen in Hollywood.
That's probably because I'm never around.
Well, that might be it. Or in Hawaii. But I know sometimes the fan pressure gets to be a little too much. Do you consider yourself a private person? When do you think fans go beyond the line?
Well, I don't know. There's no way to figure out exactly how there's no rules that this will be acceptable to somebody when they get in the public eye, so you kind of find your own way. The way I found is to try not to change your values. When I'm at work at Magnum, and if we have crowds and it won't affect the scene I'm doing, I extend myself to those people. But I think rude is rude. And because you're in the public eye doesn't give other people an excuse to change their values. And anybody who gets anywhere near where I live and stuff does not get a response from the same person.
You're not the same?
No, that's rude, and people go to your home because they're asked. And that's the only reason they should be going there.
They should be going there.
Tom's always been very guarded about his personal life. He does remain close to his 11-year-old stepson, Kevin. However, he doesn't like to talk about his marriage to and his divorce from Kevin's mother, actress Jacqueline Ray, and he prefers not to discuss his current relationships.
Where would you like to be professionally and personally 10 years from now?
Personally, I would like to have settled down family-wise. And I'm not so sure anymore that's even possible when you're doing a series, or the odds are very slim. When Magnum is gone, which is inevitable in television, it's not a question of if it ever goes, they all go away sooner or later. I would like to be in a different situation family-wise, and because I've worked very hard for 4 years, that's kind of a way of paying my dues. I don't want to do that forever, because I think I'd be in a loony bin. You have to do something else besides act, or you're not going to be a very good actor.
Talk about having lots of activity. In the afternoons, up here behind the engine block, they even have a volleyball tournament.
You know, as a matter of fact, Tom does have an outside interest, which happens to be, guess what, volleyball. You know, even his fellow teammates say he could be a first-class player if it wasn't for his TV series.
But even so, he still managed to be the honorary team captain of the USA Olympic volleyball team last summer.
You know, I wonder how many volleyballs they lose on a cruise.
Good question.
Coming up next, we'll join Loretta Swit as she visits an orphanage for animals.
As any parent can tell you, it's not always easy raising kids. I think one of the most important things to keep in mind is that it's only human to make mistakes. Well, sometimes, believe it or not, mom and dad animals have trouble coping, and when they do, the folks at the San Diego Wildlife Zoo send their babies to a foster home.
It's called the Animal Care Center, and it works the same way that the Foster Parents Program does. Tonight, PM star Loretta Swit visits the center and finds herself becoming a surrogate mother to an antelope.
Look at this guy, he's eating the ball. Get away from me. Hi, I'm Loretta Swit, and these little critters are just a few of about 30 young ones at the Animal Care Center in the San Diego Wild Animal Park. This is an orphanage for baby animals whose mothers can't or won't take care of them, and I think they think I'm their mother.
The Wild Animal Park is a special place. About 2,300 animals of 200 different species roam freely in this preserve, and almost 1.5 million visitors see them every year. Naturally, these critters make a lot of babies, but sometimes the mamas don't do a very good job with them. That's where the Animal Care Center comes in. They look after the newborns until they're old enough to be returned to the park or to be shipped to another zoo. Lynn Genero is the senior keeper here.
This guy's real aggressive, isn't he? Mm-hmm. Either that or
They're
he's
just real friendly.
hungry.
They're just
real
got weaned.
hungry, huh?
She came to us from the zoo. She's here staying in our exotic corral until she's old enough to be put back out with the herd.
Tell me her name again. It's very exotic.
So Altai Wapiti.
Altai Wapi. What did you feed her?
This is a mixture of cow's milk and water.
She loved it. Look at that tail go.
Now, it's not easy persuading a young wild animal to eat. They're picky and high-strung. So Lynn has to coax them to nurse from a bottle by imitating what their mothers would do, patting their bottoms or making motherly noises. Lynn calls these animal vocalizations.
Come here.
Let me hear the sound you're making.
Come here.
I get the easy part. I get the fun part.
The Animal Care Center deals mainly with hooved babies like these deer and antelope. But they also handle the strange and unusual, like this Abyssinian hornbill. Speaking of strange, meet Helen the pygmy hippo. She's not the most well-mannered little thing, but she's only 3 months old.
She looks...
Can you pull Helen?
Hello, Helen.
She's pretty slimy.
She's pretty slimy, yeah.
Protects her skin from all the water.
Uh-huh, and from the sun? Mm-hmm. Yes, you sure are. You sure are slimy.
And so are Helen's parents. Larry and Martha Hippo have had 8 other offspring, but none survived. Seems Martha's not a very good mother. She's ignored her babies and even rolled over one while it was nursing. Well, to keep Helen from getting squashed, Lynn and the other keepers are raising Helen themselves.
Look, Helen. Get you tired.
Oh, boy. There's your tire, Helen. Let's see. She is going to do it. Oh, how cute.
When we first put her in the stall, we had a smaller tire, and it had a smaller hole, and she used to be able to go through it.
Look at her.
When
Look
she
at
got
her.
bigger,
Oh, cute.
she got so big she couldn't fit through the hole in the tire. We had to get one with a bigger hole. Now she's getting too big for this one.
The success record here is good. They care for about 120 animals a year. After a number of months, the animals go to other zoos or back out into the park, like Shangaza here. When she was a baby, the keepers were her foster parents. Now, out on her own, she's looking forward to her own baby. Any day now. It's a warm-hearted place, this animal care center, nurturing critters who can't care for themselves, no matter how slimy.
2 weeks from now, Helen will be on her way to either another zoo or back out into the field with her mom and dad. Whatever her final destination, she'll have had the best of care here. And who knows, she may get to keep the wading pool and the tire.
Fine crystal is just one of the many things you can buy at the duty-free shops right here on board the MS Starward. By the way, the zookeepers have decided to keep Helen the hippo in the zoo.
But it's a little too cold for her to rejoin her mom and dad, so they're going to give her her very own heat lamp to keep her warm.
Coming up next, put on your cruising shoes, because when we come back, we'll tell you more about cruising aboard the glamorous MS Starward.
Magazine's Sun or Snow Escape continues from aboard the MS Starward in the Caribbean Sea.
Yes, I can't wait to get on the road again.
I feel it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Calabrese and company. You know, you mention life on a cruise ship to people, tell them you're going to go on a cruise ship, and they start making jokes about it being just like the Love Boat, you know. Well, actually, although life on the MS Starward is terrific, it's not at all like the popular TV show.
For one thing, the captain does not meddle in his passengers' affairs. The chief purser knows exactly where his own room is, and the bartenders here are much too busy to stand around going like this.
But in any case, it is a lot of fun here. There's all kinds of things to do. And right now, here's just a small sample of life aboard a Caribbean cruise ship. The MS Starward is one of 5 ships in NCL's Caribbean fleet, and the easiest way to describe it is huge. In fact, if you stood this ship on end, it would be as tall as the Traveler's Tower.
There are more than 700 passengers aboard this floating hotel. Among them, Ron Bradshaw, a Londoner enjoying his 20th cruise with NCL.
Oh, yeah, there's so much going on if you want to do it. It's, as I say, it's up to you what you want to do. You can play ping pong, exercise, learn to dance, do all sorts of things if you want to do them, or just lay and get brown in the sun.
Indeed, the most popular pastime is sunbathing, and with 2 saltwater pools on board, there are plenty of places where you can soak up the sun.
The Tropicana pool is at midship, partially enclosed by a glass awning. One deck below, at the back of the ship, you'll find the Lido pool. For many people, this is what cruising is all about.
For me, it's just relaxing. I have 4 kids under the age of 6. So I sleep till I want to get up and eat and read. It's just relaxing.
The cruise idea is a super concept.
Yeah.
It allows you to travel and yet carry your hotel with you. That's great.
Up to the left, to the right.
Other passengers prefer more structured activities, and that's where Cruise Director Chris Weaver and his staff come in.
We take care of all the passenger programming, all the daytime activities, the entertainment, whatever is concerning with passengers to keep them happy and busy. A busy passenger is a happy passenger.
So if you want to stay busy aboard this party ship, here's a partial list of things for you to do on your next trip.
You can play a game of shuffleboard up on the deck or go to the cinema and watch a good flick.
There's a game room and a library if that's your cup of tea, or an artist who paints portraits for a nominal fee.
If you want to build some muscles by the end of the week, the weight room is the place for you to work on your physique.
And when the workout's done and you have some aches and pains, a sauna and massage will make you feel new again.
There are classes for you dancers who were born with 2 left feet, and everywhere you turn, there are delicious things to eat.
There are games of chance like bingo, where we won a few bucks.
What do you mean we? Give me that.
Oh, shucks.
And that's just a little list of things to do aboard this boat.
When it comes to cruising, man, this is the only way to float.
Doesn't it? And believe me, it is.
Now, this is just part of the fun being on board the Starward here. Some of the other things going on this week are the ports of call that we'll be taking you to. We're going to be going to Ocho Rios, Jamaica, Cozumel, Mexico, Great Stirrup Key, and the Cayman Islands.
You know, one thing that I was concerned about when I knew we were going to take this cruise is getting seasick, and I have to admit, I did start to feel a little shaky there after we'd been out for about 6 hours. But I did go to the purser's office, and they gave me a chewable tablet that tastes like cherry, and it works like magic.
Now, if that's not enough, you can go to your doctor. He can prescribe a little patch-like thing. It looks like a round Band-Aid. You put it behind your ear, and the chemical in it is absorbed through the skin, and it can keep you from being seasick for days. So if you're considering entering the contest, but think you might get seasick, don't worry about it.
And we will tell you how you can enter our contest when we come back. Cheers.
PM Magazine.
At the beginning of the show, we told you that we should check the temperature on board the ship. Well, now it's time to do just that.
And it's easy to do that because we have with us our handy-dandy PM thermometer. And today's temperature is a very warm 89 degrees.
Now, you're probably wondering, well, what difference does it make if it's 89 degrees or 100 degrees? Well, it makes a lot of difference, and here's why. PM Magazine has a winter vacation for you.
If you like it in the sun, then you can win a warm 7-day cruise in the Caribbean aboard NCL's MS Starward.
Or if you prefer snow, you can win a cool ski week of lifts, lessons, and lodging in Killington, Vermont.
All you have to do is watch PM Magazine this week and next week. We'll take you to the Caribbean for sunshine and then up to Vermont for snow.
Each night we'll be taking a special PM temperature reading. Make sure you write it down.
You'll need 5 of the 10 thermometer readings we take on the show to be eligible for either prize.
Put the temperatures on the back of a standard-sized postcard along with your name, address, and telephone number.
If you want to win the Caribbean cruise, mail your card to Sun, PM Magazine, 3 Constitution Plaza, Hartford, Connecticut, 06115.
Or if you want to win the Vermont Ski Week, mail your card to Snow, PM Magazine, 3 Constitution Plaza, Hartford, Connecticut, 06115. Be sure your entry gets to us by noon Wednesday, February 20th. One lucky viewer will win the Caribbean cruise and another will win the Vermont Ski Week. This could be your opportunity to take a great winter escape, sun or snow. Now remember, our PM Magazine temperature reading for Monday is 89 degrees.
We hope you'll write that down, and we hope you'll join us for the rest of the week because we're going to be taking you to some great places. We're awfully excited about it, and you can start by joining us tomorrow night. Most people know Dwight Schultz as Murdoch, the crazy pilot on the A-Team.
Man, why you gotta act stupid all the time, man?
Tomorrow we'll see another side of Dwight that will surprise you.
Then these Army recruits at Fort Dix, New Jersey couldn't believe their eyes when Saturday night rolled around. See what happened when 2 squads of NFL cheerleaders entertained the troops at home.
We'll get a taste of some cruise cuisine aboard the MS Starward, plus play at an exclusive beach party at Norwegian Caribbean Lines' private island in the Bahamas. And that's just about going to do it for tonight's show. What do you say we take a dip? The water looks great, huh?
I know, but it looks like it might be a little cold.
I'll go check it.
Okay. That's going to do it for tonight's show. From on board the MS Starward, I'm Pamela Nemeth, and that's Dave Nemeth. And, should I? Yeah, why
not? Accommodations for the PM Magazine crew aboard the MS Starward provided by Norwegian Caribbean Lines. Travel arrangements for PM Magazine made by Eastern, the airline with more flights to more fun vacations. This winter, visit a Caribbean island with Eastern, the new leader in service to all the Americas. Cagney's life is threatened when an assailant she arrested vows revenge. Watch Cagney and Lacey tonight at 10 on Channel 3. You've got the touch now with Scarecrow and Mrs. King. Next.